Welcome everybody to the Brother Speak podcast. This is Brother Speak. If you're new to the channel, please like, comment, and subscribe. We're gonna do a little wrestling talk today. Um, so I was looking at ever since WrestleMania, we had this feud going on with Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar, and you know what a waste. This is a waste of a feud, in my opinion, because it literally came out of nowhere. And it's like, why? Why is this feud even happening? It doesn't even make sense. Why would Brock want to go attack Cody? I know they probably gave some crazy reason, but from what I've seen, I haven't seen a reason really, like a good legitimate reason why Brock want to attack Cody. I mean, let's look at the timeline. Like, okay, WrestleMania, Cody fought Roman. He lost. Then the next day on Raw, he wanted his rematch, and Paul said, "You got to tag with somebody who, but if anybody tags with you, I'm not getting a shot at the title." So here comes Brock, who they told once he lost that last match that he had with Roman, he can't have a rematch because they wrestled what 3 times and lost. So okay, so they get in this. They're gonna have this big tag match, and before even the match started, Brock destroys Cody. I mean, the bloodline just walking away like, what the hell's going on? We want no part of this. We leaving. and and so that's where it went from there. Now, it really doesn't even make sense because one, why would Brock want to attack Cody anyway? Now, I mean, it's like, what would be the point of it? Now, my theory is going to be it's going to turn into where Brock was hired by Paul to go after Cody because he felt that Roman couldn't be Cody. Now, I can see. This is where I'm thinking this is going to go. Paul went to Brock to attack Cody because Paul thought Cody could beat Roman. And so to ensure that the tribal chief keeps his title, he had Brock. But here's where the problem gonna come in. Okay, if they were gonna do that, if it turns out to be that, why not have him do that at WrestleMania? That would have been the perfect spot to do that. If this was the plan for Brock and Cody, then why don't you have Brock foil Cody's plan, and then hey, why Brock? Why Brock go after? Why Brock go after Cody? What's going on? You could have had a situation where Brock confronted Roman, and Paul could have remembered. Hey! You remember? Hey, you can't have this. We can't have this rematch for the title. Remember, you lost, so I don't know what to tell you, buddy. So you have a situation now. Then you have Brock come out at WrestleMania and doing the match, clear out the Usos, clear out Solo, but then he goes at the Cody. And then you can you can leave the hint that that's the reason why Brock is going after Cody, and then you can have Roman confronting Paul, and then and then finally you could build it up to SummerSlam where Brock gets the title back again and Paul's right behind him, therefore turning on Roman, which I think, in my opinion, they're gonna go with anyway. But how they started it is effed up. Because let's think about it. Let's think about it a second. Now, now here's let's go back again. Okay, because Cody being Roman, I mean, I can. There are people who are not happy with the fact that Cody lost at WrestleMania. I think part of it is, kayfabe, but a lot of it, but we really thought Cody was going to win. Now, me, I likened it to when Roman faced Brock the first time at WrestleMania. What was that? Which one? One that Seth Rollins cashed in at. I liken it to that, where okay, Roman and Brock's first meeting, Roman fails, and he failed because of some interference. I likened it to that because I think what WrestleMania was that? Let me check right quick. Yes, that, that cash. What was that? What was that? Oh, okay, WrestleMania 31. Yeah. So WrestleMania 31, that's what happened. Seth ran in, curb stomp Brock, Kurt, Roman spears Brock, takes him out the way, and then Seth curb stomped Roman Reigns and won the title. Now, I liken it to something like that. But where the problem comes into. Um, at that time, I think Roman was getting booed, so it was like you would turn the crowd against him. So the WWE pulled an audible. In that situation, everybody was cheering Cody. Everybody was booing Roman. So it was no need to pivot. Now the only thing I could think of is that okay, it's their first meeting. Why have Cody beat Brock? I mean Roman in their first meeting. I mean that's the end of the chase. So this is what I'm thinking, that their thought is okay, why end the chase early? They haven't had any confrontations before, so why give it away then instead of waiting to SummerSlam? Now, of course, we understand that Cody was injured, and probably, at least this is my thinking, that they probably would have had an earlier confrontation had Cody not get injured, and you could have built this up to WrestleMania when he finally wins the title. Now, I think that was probably the plan, but again, Cody got injured. It happens. Can't I mean, you can't prepare for everything, and this is what we got. So I think a lot of it is because of Cody's injury. Had that not happened, they probably would have had a confrontation earlier where Cody would have lost. You would have had Sammy try to get in. Then I think that WrestleMania match would have ended different. I put it this way. I think the match would have happened the same way, but I think Cody would have won had Cody already had uh, confrontations with Roman and the bloodline, had confrontation with Sammy, kind of convinced Sammy to turn, and it, you would have had this. I think this whole thing with Sammy and Kevin teaming back together, all this would have been the same thing, but except Cody would have been in the mix sooner. Matter of fact, I think they should have had their first match before then, and then at WrestleMania, then had a match, and Cody would have won. That would have been better. I know somebody would say, well, uh, but again, you have it early. You have the match where he nearly beat Roman. He nearly beats Roman. Then you have it at WrestleMania, and he finally wins it. That would have been a bigger thing. Then you keep this thing going. Or, in my idea, okay, same thing that I just said. Cody had an early interaction, and he almost beat Roman. Paul gets scared. He's like, oh no, my boy is vulnerable. This guy can actually beat him. You bring in Brock. And then you have the situation like you're doing now. Instead now, Cody's facing Brock. They get their feud done. Maybe he faced Solo. And then at SummerSlam, you have that match. At least that's my thing. But the way they do it now, it seems like everything's out of order. And I think what's going to happen is that Paul brought Brock in to face Cody, to destroy Cody, because he thought that Cody could beat Roman. And it's going to end up that Paul's going to turn on Roman. And that's going to break up the bloodline. Now, the problem with the idea is that the way it started. It started out of nowhere. Now, and without Roman around to have this interaction, it's kind of muddy. Not so don't. I'm not saying this is not a big match. Cody versus Brock is a big match, and Cody's probably gonna win this match. But it's just the fact that they it is. I don't know. It's kind of like backwards. Like it should have been. This should have been set up a way better, and it would have made a little more sense. And I would be, and I know Roman had to take some breaks. Because shoot, this company has been on his back. Let's just keep it a buck. I mean, if it wasn't for the bloodline storyline, nobody would give a fuck about WWE right now. I mean, even with the whole thing with Ray and Dominic, which was a great storyline, it made sense, and I'm surprised they didn't rush that. Shouts out to whoever made that decision, probably Ray, Dominic, and Triple H made that decision to slow burn that. And the way they did it was perfect. But again, the main reason why people were watching WWE is the bloodline. Let's just keep it a buck. But the way they did this was it's like it just seems out of order. It don't seem like it was. I don't know. Maybe somebody pulled an audible. Maybe they just thought, okay, maybe not give Cody the title now. Let's wait to SummerSlam. But it's like, maybe, like I said, if they want to go with this route where Cody is chasing, you probably would have had an earlier interaction. They should have started that match sooner, but then you had the whole thing with Sammy. Yeah, it's just like it's kind of like, what do you do with this situation? You know, what do you do with this situation? You know, it's one of those ones where it's like, which what do you do? Which way do you go? And I just think so far it's been this feud is. I mean, I don't know. It seemed like a waste of time. I think this is more of a Vince McMahon decision than anybody, and I don't know the it. To me, it's going to turn out that Paul's going to turn on Roman, and that's going to kind of destroy the bloodline. But my problem with it is that the way they did it, where they get to this point, is I mean, I'm just saying how it started was kind of funky. They probably would have done better if Brock would have interfered in that match at WrestleMania. I know somebody's gonna be pissed off about would have been pissed off, but that would have established Brock as this heel, and you would have had a situation where Cody's trying to fight Brock, and then the Usos, maybe the Usos interfere in that match and cause Cody to lose that match too, and then that links up the whole thing of Paul being with Brock. At least that would be the way I would do it. But the way they doing it now, it's like it's just like, wait, why would Brock do this? Or I think Jim Cornette suggested it. Why not have the match? Have the match. You see them walking tall, but then you show footage. Maybe have maybe at Backlash have this tag team match of Solo and Roman versus Cody and Brock. I know people probably wouldn't like that, but I would have had that match and then have Brock turn on him. Now you're like, what the fuck? Why is you have that match and you don't have Brock and Roman touch? And you be like, wait a second. Wait a second. Why is Brock ain't touching Roman? What's going on here? It's like Roman's not. He gets in there with Cody, but he's not getting in there with Brock, and Brock's not getting in there with Roman, but he'll go in there with Solo, and then you have him turn on Cody. I There's other ways they could have built this. At least in my opinion, that would have worked better because now you got more time to build this out. And instead of now at the WrestleMania where everybody's just pissed off, it's like, well, I the fuck, and you can still build this up, and you have Brock come in, and then you have this big tag team star filled match, and then you have Brock turn on Cody, and then you can have that match going into May, but they're fighting. The Usos get involved somehow, and then eventually, Cody wins. Oh, matter of fact, I got another idea. Cody wins the match at WrestleMania with Brock. And now Cody has his enforcer, which is Brock, and Paul, which again breaks up the bloodline. Now Roman becomes the babyface. And he's trying to get the help of Sammy and Kevin, which that ain't gonna go well. But you know, I mean, it's just the way in my head, what they doing with Cody and Brock is just a waste. It's like this is a waste of of a match, which this could have been done later, and you would have got a big pop. Oh my God, his first match out as the champion, he's got to face Brock. Or another way what they could have done it, Brock helps Cody. Cody's like, what the fuck? I could have beat, and then they revealed that Cody had Brock come in to help him beat Roman, and in turn, he gets a title shot. There's other ways it could have been done. This would have made sense. The way they're doing it now, it's like the one, it didn't make sense. It's a big letdown. And then the payoff, even with the payoff that's going to probably come out of this, if my idea what it is Paul's going to get back with Brock, it's still not going to pay off as well. Because now you have this match that's going to be a throwaway. And if Cody beats Brock, why have the rematch for that? Why even have the match with Brock and Cody? If Cody does win the title eventually, you know the first match you're going to have is Brock. So you've already given, if you have that match, you've already given that away, their first meeting. So it's kind of like you just threw away a match for what? That's why I said this feud has been a waste, because there's so many ways this could have been done better, and you would have had a great result from this, which I believe is going to be is Brock and Paul reuniting, breaking up the bloodline for good. Because let's face it, I mean, let's be honest, you know, the peak of the bloodline has been with Sammy. It's already at its peak now. Now they just going through the motions pretty much. I mean, the Usos lost the titles, so eventually they gonna break up. Um, and so it's going. Solo is going to be by himself eventually, and it's like the bloodline has peaked. The whole thing has peaked at this point. So right now, it's probably the best time to break them apart. The Usos become a tag team again by themselves, and Solo be his own career. Maybe take him back to NXT, or just have him be a monster on his own. Have him have a run with the Intercontinental title. Have him face Gunther, and because listen, monster versus monster. I mean, or I mean, again, you can have Roman and Solo be a baby face and have that work out, and then Solo wins the Intercontinental title, and Roman be his manager or something. I don't know. There's so many ways that could go with this, but I just think that this feud, Cody and Brock, it's been a waste. This is it's too. It's really like too soon, and there's other ways you could have had this match. It would have meant more. It really would have meant more. Now, like I said, part of it was Cody getting injured, and part of it is it's just like just bad booking. Honestly, I wouldn't have Cody lose. You know, but and again, if you wanted to have Brock get involved, I would involve him at WrestleMania and start that from there to this eventual breakup of the bloodline. I don't know. That's just what I would have thought to do. And this is this is one of those things like, maybe they could have done better with this. But I don't know. It just seemed like a waste so far, but it is what it is. This is what you got. I will be paying attention, see how this goes. But anyway, that's enough wrestling talk for me for one day. This is Bro Speak of the Bro Speak podcast. If you're new to the channel again, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I might do some more wrestling talk because I am interested in wrestling. So I am a wrestling fan, and you know, and I look at it, and the whole bloodline Cody thing was interesting, but I think they fumbled the ball here. I think they overthinking this, and I don't know, and maybe because Vince took back over, and maybe that's why they did what they did. But I think there were other ways they could have went about this, and but we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. Thanks for listening, and remember, black men, be powerful or be powerless. The choice is yours. I'm out. Peace.